There are bad relationship movies, there are toxic relationship movies, and then there's Obsession. A film where a lonely record store employee makes one desperate wish for love and accidentally turns his crush into a paranormal attachment issue. My guy wanted romance. He got demonic codependency with bonus homicide. And somehow, for a little while, it actually feels kind of sweet, and that's the trap. This movie starts with awkward flirting, brewery trivia, yearning eye contact, and slowly mutates into possessed whispering sleep paralysis movement and please kill me at 3 in the morning. This thing does not escalate like a normal horror movie. Which brings us to the real question today. Does Obsession go hard, or is it just a cursed love song stuck in a haunted record store? Welcome to Does It Go Hard, where we break down horror movies and metal music based on energy using 5 brutally scientific categories: impact, momentum, conviction, atmosphere, and aftermath. Each scored 0 to 20, 100 points total, then we reveal the final verdict. Is it lifeless? Does it need more teeth? Does it strike? Does it go hard? Or in rare cases, does it go nuclear? From the second this movie starts, the vibes are catastrophically wrong. This film has the heebie-jeebies running a full dictatorship. The way that Nikki moves around at night, ooh, brother, she ain't walking. She's gliding towards people like a corrupted loading screen. There's this floaty, weightless movement she does in the dark that genuinely made my nervous system try to leave the building. And the music, good lord! The soundtrack waits, and it waits, and then it detonates at exactly the worst moment possible. It's pretty bone-chilling. And the flower scene here, watching Bear sleep, hiding behind the flowers, being a f***ing nut job. Oh boy, guys. Bear, that is not your girlfriend. This is a paranormal incident. The film understands tension really well. It knows exactly when to stay quiet, and it knows when to hold on a shot just a little too long, and then suddenly, wham! The audio crashes into the scene like the movie itself is trying to scare you physically. This movie weaponizes discomfort, usually brilliantly. But there is one scene where the energy shifts from disturbing to, okay, something about this feels genuinely wrong. Like the movie stops feeling sort of fun for just a second and starts feeling a little too invasive, if that's even possible. And honestly, that discomfort is probably intentional. But overall, this movie succeeds hard at making you feel spiritually unsafe. And then she feeds him the cat. Oh, hell no. Obsession hits like a cursed romance where every quiet moment feels like something demonic is breathing just out of frame. Now, once this movie gets its claws into you, it does not let go. The opening is awkward as hell. Bear practicing his confession to a waitress instead of just talking to Nikki, a bit painful. But not in a bad writing way either, in a this feels way too real type of way. And honestly, rehearsing your feelings with a random waitress might actually be more stressful than the real confession. But that awkwardness is important because Bear immediately feels human. He's insecure, he's lonely, he's clearly desperate to be loved. And life is already cooking this man. I mean, his cat dies immediately in the movie. Then enters the One Wish Willow, which is insane. By the way, people talk about this thing online like it's some sketchy urban legend that may or may not work. Excuse me? If there was a stick with even a 10% success rate for granting wishes, civilization would collapse by Thursday. But what really works here in the movie is the pacing because it's relentless. Every scene either deepens the relationship, increases the discomfort, or pushes the horror further. There's almost no wasted motion. It slowly evolves from awkward indie romance into full psychological horror without ever feeling like it changed movies halfway through. And that's hard to pull off. And once this movie starts unraveling, oh boy. The phone call scene for me is where everything shifts. Bear learns the only way to end the wish is to kill himself, and then he hears the real Nikki screaming on the other end of the line. Oh, that's the exact moment where this movie stops feeling quirky and starts feeling genuinely sinister. Suddenly, this isn't clingy girlfriend territory anymore. This is possession, entrapment, spiritual horror. And from there, the movie just keeps tightening the screws. The car kill scene? Good lord! Nikki smashing Sarah's head into the steering wheel over and over while blaming Bear for it. That scene is brutal because in a twisted way, she's not entirely wrong. Bear knows this thing wearing Nikki's face has to be stopped, but he keeps hesitating because part of him still wants the fantasy to be real. That emotional conflict gives the horror its weight. Obsession moves like a floating relationship spiraling straight through every warning sign imaginable. Now guys, here's where the movie surprised me. The script is good. Like, genuinely good. The dialogue feels awkward in the way real people are awkward. Friends interrupt each other, people stumble over words, conversations drift around naturally. It feels like high school, not movie high school, real high school. The kind where your wingman completely misreads the vibe at trivia night and somehow makes everything worse. Ian, classic. And because the writing feels authentic, performances land harder, especially Bear. You can feel this dude wanting love so badly he's willing to ignore red flags the size of airport runways, but this movie understands something important. Desperation makes people rationalize insanity. That's why the relationship works for as long as it does, because underneath all that horror, there are moments that feel weirdly relatable. Nikki not being able to stop staring at Bear, listen. Sometimes when you really love someone, you just want to look at them and you don't want to look away. You catch yourself zoning out like, yep, that's my person. This movie takes that genuine feeling and pushes it straight through demonic possession. Same with the aggressive stay cuddling energy. Relatable in theory, terrifying in execution. Then there's the party story scene. Oh boy. Nikki telling that insane story for her book. Why is nobody more concerned? Like, they're acting kind of way too normal given the situation. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there like, hello? Police? Priest? National Guard? Help! And then the pout when she moves Sarah out of the way during the kissing game. It's funny, but it's also the kind of behavior that gets turned into a true crime documentary thumbnail. Obsession commits like authentic human awkwardness slowly curdling into possession. Now let's talk atmosphere because this movie feels wrong in a very specific way. The wish scene captures that perfectly. At first, it's actually kind of funny. When Bear makes the wish and Nikki comes back acting strange and Bear's basically like, haha, wow, Nikki, you're acting weird. And Nikki's like, yeah, I'm acting weird. Little do you know what the f*** I have in store for you, Bear. But what really carries the atmosphere is the implication that the real Nikki is trapped somewhere horrifying the entire time. That idea hangs over the whole movie like a storm cloud. The phone call scene, funny at first, but quickly turns absolutely terrifying. The please kill me scene while Nikki's body is asleep? Absolutely not. And those brief moments where the real Nikki slips back into control for like 3 seconds, motherfucking jarring. It feels like watching somebody drown under ice for a split second before getting pulled back under. Now, setting-wise, the movie isn't visually iconic. Apartment, pub, music store. We're not exactly touring Middle Earth here. But the lighting and the music and the tension, they do the heavy lifting. The film turns ordinary spaces into cursed emotional pressure cookers. Also, Ian. The second this man appeared looking like a frat boy that still says let's rage at age 31, I knew he was gonna waste that wish. And of course, he asked for $1 billion. Why wouldn't he ask for $1 billion? Called it. This dude has the spiritual energy of Axe body spray. Not to mention, the worst wingman ever. Obsession feels like normal life slowly getting overwritten by something watching through it. And now, the aftermath. This ending is bleak. Bear realizes Ian completely fumbled the reversal wish. Nikki is outside the door completely unraveling, and he understands the only move left is suicide, which is brutal. Then the movie pulls one final emotional sucker punch. Nikki wishes for Bear to love her more than anything in the world, and for one tiny moment, it works. He gets up all love-struck and Cupid zombified like Nicholas Sparks got possessed by a ghost, but the pills still kill him. Same way his cat died, which is weirdly cathartic and unbelievably depressing at the same time. And then, Nikki snaps back into her real body, and suddenly she's trapped there with all 3 corpses. Sarah naked in the living room, Ian with a gunshot in his head, and Bear foaming at the goddamn mouth. Credits roll with her screaming and crying. Wow, goosebumps. That image sticks. But personally, I'm a little torn on the ending, hear me out. Part of me wanted the movie to fully commit to the cursed romance angle, like both of them trapped in this dark, twisted love nightmare together. That would be kind of dope. Or rewind time. Give Bear one final chance. Take him back to when he first made the wish. When Nikki came out of the car and asked him if he likes her. And he either says yes, and she says yes, and they didn't even have to go through this nightmare in the first place, and they naturally get together. Or, hell no, and drives off into the sunset before the demon's subscription activates. But honestly, could he ever look at her the same after all of this? Probably not. Either way, whatever way you try to end this, this movie leaves residue on your brain. Obsession is a tragic emotional pileup where love, guilt, and horror rot together in the same wreckage. And after all the screaming, the floating, and the emotional devastating cuddle manipulation, and the demonic yearning with attachment issues, where does obsession land? Does this movie strike? Does this movie go hard? Does this movie go nuclear? Let's tally it up. Obsession absolutely goes hard. It's awkward, it's creepy, it's funny, it's sad, it's uncomfortable, it's unhinged. A romance that slowly turns into something it was never meant to be. Like a love story that starts normal and then quietly becomes a haunting. And that's what makes this movie so special. Because underneath all of that horror and chaos, it's really all about desperation. The terrifying things people ignore just to feel loved. After all, nothing is scarier than getting exactly what you wished for. But those are my thoughts. What do you guys think of Obsession? Does it go hard for you? I would love to hear your thoughts. And thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comments what we want to cover in our next episode of Does It Go Hard? I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and catch me next time. Peace.